Welcome back. Today I've just doing a quick review on the Grand Trunk. This is the Trunktech hammock. This is the double hammock, which is about 11 foot long by 6'6" wide. So when you buy this Trunktech hammock, this is a lightweight version. You don't get any tree straps, so these are optional extras. But this is super lightweight. I'll put the weights on the screen for the hammock and the tree straps. The first thing we're going to do is set this up. So these are the Grand Trunk tree straps. They're about 3 meters long, 10 foot long. With these Grand Trunk tree trunk straps, there's about 18 positions on each strap. So combine that with 2, you've got about 36 different positions. And you'll see here, there's like a weave. So if you can clip on these different positions along here, all along here. So the end with the writing on it, that's the bit you put around the tree, the longer bit. With here, I'm going to use the roll cage inside this vehicle for one attachment point. So you can just loop it around on itself. And then with this hammock, I've just left one end of this hammock out, and literally the stuff sack is the pocket inside the hammock. Just going to clip it on to the first point here. And then it's just a matter of pulling it all out. And on the other end, you've got this carabiner here. Comes with 2 carabiners, one on each end. Not for climbing. The end with the writing here. That's the bit that goes around the tree or whatever you're attaching it to. I usually just reach up high, pull it through on itself. And now I've got all these attachment points. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 14 attachment points. And if you've got a really skinny tree, you'd have more. But because it's quite a big tree, that one, you've got less points. Having these different positions here, it just makes it so easy to set up. And whatever sort of droop you want, you can really fine tune it. Depending on what you're after. Obviously you don't want too much of a droop, otherwise you'll be like sitting inside a cup. And you don't want it too tight because it'll put undue stress on the actual hammock itself when you've got all your weight in the middle if it's really tight like that. I won't go into the details of how to set it up. There's plenty of videos out there. As long as it looks good. If always getting in, always make sure to grab an edge, otherwise you will end up on your ass if you're not careful. And just lay in. So this is 6'6" wide through here, if you measure it across there. So if you do have a bit of sun coming through from an angle, you can sort of lay it and just sort of keep that over like that to keep it out of your eyes if need be. So this hammock's got a 500 pound or a 226 kilo load capacity. If you buy the single version of the Grand Trunk hammock, it's only 4'10" wide. So the double one is 6'6" wide. So therefore the double hammock's about 20 inches wider or 51 centimeters wider. This color of the hammock, it's the blue Nile color. This is probably the closest I could get to some sort of a camo color. The colors of these in the Grand Tech isn't the best color. If you get the standard hammocks, they do have like just a green color, which is pretty good. Just trying to keep, if you want to be sort of stealthy in the bush and not stand out. This material, it's really, really soft. It reminds you of like a sleeping bag softness. You do really notice the softness when you're actually laying on it. It does feel really nice. This Trunktech technology for this fabric is Grand Trunk's trademark. Which delivers softness, strength, breathability, and it's also fast drying if you get it wet. It does dry quite quick. the beauty of this, it's just so light. It just packs up so small. And when you pair it with these straps here, it just makes ease of adjustment so much easier. I've had this hammock for about 3 years, and because it's so light, I used to take it mountain biking with me because it's so light and it packs up so small. And it's so easy to use, you know, coupled with the straps. If you buy the cheaper version of this hammock, which is a cheaper material, which is heavier, it does come with straps, but they're only about 5 foot long. But when you buy this hammock, which is 40% dearer, roughly thereabouts, than the cheaper version, you've still got to buy the straps, which are about $60. And I think I paid about $140 for this hammock, and the straps are about $60 each, $140 for the hammock. So you're looking at about $200 AUD for this hammock with the straps. But this is a double hammock. I can lay with 2 people, which I have done just fine. But I just wanted a bit of extra size, just because mainly for one person, and just for extra size, so you can really stretch out diagonally if you want to stretch out like this and sort of relatively lay flat. And you can see the sides, how much longer they are. Whoops, that was close. You don't want to do that. This hammock's a 40D, roughly 1.1 to 1.6 ounce. I really can't clarify what the thickness of this or the density of this Ripstop nylon is, but it is a diamond Ripstop. I think it's Grand Trunk's patent or trademarked material, Ripstop material. So it's anywhere between 1.1 and 1.6 ounce Ripstop. I haven't actually torn it yet or got any holes in it, so I can't prove how much the Ripstop works. Having these adjustable straps here, so if you want to turn it into a bit of a seat, and you can just drop it down really quickly. So if you're working down low, and you want to sit down on the ground, use it like a seat, like this, you can do. And then if you want to go back to the sleeping position, it's so easy just to get it how you want it for the sleeping position. Mobile phone fits in this pocket. That's about it. It's not a very big pocket because it packs down so small. You don't get a very big pocket. These aren't the cheapest of hammocks, but given that they're light, easy to use, and they pack down really small, and coupled with this tree strap, which is, you know, nearly 10 foot long or 3 meters long with all these adjustments on here, it gives you a lot of adjustments. Like here, if I wanted to, for instance, possibly, I've got a tree out further over. Just see if that works. I'll put it on the longest position there. I'll bring you over here. You come over here with me. You can see this is a worst case scenario. I might just bring this other end up a little bit. This is probably an extreme example, but I'm a long way. You come over here, I'm going to measure this out. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters away. So from here to that tree over there, you've got about 6 meters. But to be honest with you, you can see the angle's not the best, but it is tending to lay a little bit flat, but I'm going to try it out anyway. We'll see how we go. You can see it's pulled really tight. Not very comfortable, and it's probably putting a lot of stress on the hammock. I could maybe drop it down a little bit more, but we're going to start hitting the ground. If that was higher, maybe, but you can see it's getting too low now. I'll end up hitting the ground. So if you grab it by the pocket, you've got half, and you can just, if you're in a muddy environment, you can just shove it up, throw it over your shoulder, and just start stuffing it in the bag. I usually leave one of the carabiners at the top when you put it back in, just so when you do open it up next time you can just clip it straight onto your tree straps. Okay, with your tree straps, they're really long, they're 3 meters long. Find the ends with the instructions on them and join them together, and I can just roll them up together to save rolling them up individually. And you can sort of just throw them in. If you roll them up individually, it's a little bit neater, but if you roll them up together and just sort of scrunch them in, it's a lot quicker and easier.